Welcome back to the Mesozoic Media Park. The goal for this park is to fill it with as many movies, shows, documentaries, video games as we possibly can. Last time we did a Dinosaur King inspired enclosure. This time I want us to start tackling Walking with Dinosaurs, the original, and then we'll eventually do the 2025. Let's get right into it. Okay, so much like last time, there's a few different enclosures that I think would be really fun to include. One would be Coelophysis. I'm pretty sure, if memory serves me correctly, Coelophysis should absolutely be in this game, but sometimes I forget. Yeah, there it is. So we can make a little Coelophysis enclosure, which is a fairly simple enclosure. And then we can potentially do something like Cruel Sea, which I think would be very fun. All right, so up here, of course, we did Dinosaur King. Why don't we move, like, how about we have like a little path that links over here. Let's make a ramp, go down here, right? And then I don't want the Coelophysis enclosure to be too huge, if I'm being honest. But it's going to be really fun to have more of like a Triassic themed enclosure going on here. Obviously, the Coelophysis in the episode live in an extremely deserty environment. So that's what we're trying to replicate right here. As per usual, I'm not opposed to using rocks to flesh out this enclosure. But I'm also thinking of maybe using rocks to separate the guests from the dinosaurs. So let's say you go like right here, like that. And then we just slowly build along here. Let's see. Can I look into this or is that too high? Oh my gosh, that is way too high. Fortunately, that's easy to fix. Bloop. Yeah, that seems low enough to where you should be able to look into it. Let's check it out. Yeah, there's like little gaps where you can see into it. So it might be a little fun way for our guests to lay eyes on the Coelophysis. And again, I don't want this to be a huge enclosure, but I'm thinking that I want to make it an enclosure that's just absolutely filled to the brim with rocks and things like that, and obviously some vegetation. But the episode in which the Coelophysis appear is not exactly the most, I guess, eye-catching. It's relatively dull and simple. Like we probably have to use root riddle dirt as per usual with this. I'd say we make it about that large right there, roughly. We get some more rocks over here. Now, actually, what I'm thinking, I just had this thought. We can maybe grab onto these and then we can lift them up and make it look like you're looking into a window. I know that there's like a glass, there's some, there is a glass thing that you can place down. I've looked at it and I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan. Like, it's kind of like divided into sections. So it's not like the kind of window that would be useful in a build like this. So we're just going to pretend that we have a window that folks can look into. Like that, right? So like folks can, like, you're walking by and then you look into there. That way it seems like there's a little bit more protection against them. And I don't want to use another viewing gallery. I want to mix things up a little bit more. So maybe, I'm just kind of spitballing here. Maybe what we can also do is include like a rock closer to the center. No, that rock. Maybe if let's make this rock a little bit smaller. And again, just pretend that there's glass right there. That's really the best we can do, but I don't really mind how this looks. It reminds me of a lot of lion enclosures I've seen, which I think that's pretty cool. The way I want to dress this up is I do want rocks, help give it that sort of deserty feel. I'll have some rocks that go across like this. And then one thing that we can do that I always find really cool is it's a log. It's a fallen tree. Make it as large as we can. We might need to, yeah, we probably need to get these a little bit closer, but that's fine. Put that right there, and then we'll, oops, move this just right there. There we go. Now they have that little thing right there. We can maybe add more rocks on here so that it doesn't look too similar to this, like that. We'll get some more rock right here, perhaps. And then the back of the enclosure, I'm thinking we'll just place some vegetation, kind of like that. And I also need to close this. Like I probably should have just closed it in first. We'll close it. Now I only wish that Plateosaurus or Postosuchus or or Placerius. I wish that those guys were in this game because they would be a really cool enclosure to make. But Coelophysis, that works too. I love Coelophysis. It is a cool little early dinosaur. So having it is, it's an absolute must if you ask me. What else can we do with this? So I'd like to make some areas that make it look like they walk around, worn down spots. I guess what I can also do is make a little pond. It'll be a nice little reference to that one shot of the Coelophysis looking into the water to catch that fish. So we could put that in here as well. And that is surrounded by vegetation. There's also a lot of dirt around it. So I guess I can place some vegetation around this as well. Get rid of all of that though. There we go. They got plenty of place for shade. That's not half bad. Actually, I really do dig this as its own little enclosure, honestly. Now, my biggest question is I don't know if we want to do what we did last time and make a reference to each individual episode. Walking with dinosaurs in and of itself is incredibly iconic. And so making a reference to each episode certainly makes sense. These two are literally the same color. What are you trying to pull? But that one's obvious. Okay. So yeah, they're green. They're green with some tan and some red. I'll place that red right there because I like the red. Some green right there, and then we'll get some red. And that's pretty close to the Walking with Dinosaurs Coelophysis. We'll get a few of them too, like a couple males. Well, we'll get 5. 5 works. Okay, they're on their way. So at the very least, I'm going to put in a reference to the Cruel Sea because we haven't done any aquariums yet. And it is absolutely something that I want to include. My only issue is that I don't really know how to make it look nice. I mean, I guess I can fill in some rocks on the bottom and make it sort of like a little bit of an underground canyon. That's like the best thing that I have in my mind. So we'll attempt that. Obviously, we will do a Thalmosaurus as well as the Liopleurodon. Very magical, I know. We'll put it right here. So this will be that exhibit. I don't want this to look like an actual aquarium. I know that's a weird statement. So what we're going to do is I'm going to place down that's not the right spot. We're going to place down a viewing gallery for Lagoon. Place it like right here or so. And then we're just going to build rocks around it because I don't want it to look like a regular lagoon. Okay, and then the beauty of being able to do something like this is that I can add additional creatures. Now, I would love to add Eustreptospondylus to this exhibit, but unfortunately, I don't think I have a way to do that yet. So what we can do is we're going to hope, we're just going to have hope that in the future, Eustreptospondylus Megalosaurus will be added to the game. And then once it does, if it does happen, is we'll place it over here. We'll have its own little exhibit. That way it kind of looks like, hey, it's near the rocks, when it died. It's not going to be like, it won't be able to get too close to the rocks because I'm trying to cover up all of these fences and things that the lagoon has, but we can put it right next to it. So just keep that in mind for the future. If Megalosaurus ever gets added to the game, we will simply just add it and we'll call it a Eustreptospondylus because Eustreptospondylus is a megalosaurid. We'll also put Megalosaurus into the Crystal Palace exhibit because it's kind of bare without Megalosaurus. Only has Iguanodon right now. So yeah, we'll try the Eustreptospondylus again. It'll simply just go over there. We'll try to make this all look as natural as possible. Like under here, for example, I would like to place down some more rocks into the water, dress it up a little bit more, get some more shallow waters over here. And what I'm going to do right here is try to make a little bit of a canyon because I think it looks neat, down here. And I'm pretty sure I remember seeing something like that in the episode. Okay, let's see what it looks like from here. That's certainly not bad, but I think I could dress it up a little bit. Take, for example, we could put in some kelp under here. Again, just to dress it up a little bit. Oh no, that kelp's floating. What have I done? There we go. At the very least, that's more than what we were able to do on the last attempt at Mesozoic Media Park. And then again, Eustreptospondylus, aka Megalosaurus, will simply go into another little exhibit over here. Doesn't have to be too huge of an exhibit. We just need the reference. You know, the reference being, oh yeah, it's like it's on a rock, and then boom, it gets eaten by a Liopleurodon, an oversized Liopleurodon at that. I'm sure that many of you have heard that before, but yeah, the Liopleurodon in Walking with Dinosaurs is incredibly oversized at 25 meters, when the real life animal was closer to about 8 to 10 meters. So it was pretty big. In fact, I'll make a little rock thing over here as a reference. Like we'll say, hey, this is where the Eustreptospondylus was standing on when he got eaten. Just have some fun with it, you know. It's mostly just references. Okay, that should be all right. So let's get the Liopleurodon and let's get the Ophthalmosaurus in here. Liopleurodon itself is not in the game right now, which is fine because I didn't like its model. But oops, here I am typing it though. Like what? Chronosaurus. Oh, Chronosaurus is not in the game? Oh, right, wrong place. What am I doing? I forgot. We need to go over here. There. Chronosaurus is in the game, which is another pliosaurus similar to how Liopleurodon is, and actually it looks way more accurate to the real life Liopleurodon than the Liopleurodon ever did. So we can give it that coloration. And then, oh wait, where's the, is it yellow? Why is it yellow? Oh, there we go. I see. Okay. We'll do that. There we go. Basically spot on coloration. And then we, you know, Ophthalmosaurus is not in the game, but Ichthyosaurus is. So we'll just make this guy look as much like they did in the show as possible. So they got, I guess, what can I do? What can I do here? Like a purple coloration is a little bit more accurate, but I'm not, that looks cool. We might just go with that simply because it's cool. Yeah, we'll just do that. That works. I like the looks of it. And it's kind of reminiscent to the coloration they had in the show. So yeah, we'll just do that. All right, and while they're getting dropped off, let's see how the Coelophysis exhibit looks. Let's check it out. Yeah, I like it. Oh wait, let's make it so they're not zipping around. Yeah, this is the Coelophysis exhibit. You know, there's a few of them kind of walking around back there. Again, just pretend that there's glass here instead of it being open. Yeah, I'm quite happy with how it turned out. We can't see much of them, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go over here so we can check them out. Here they are. Walking with Dinosaurs Coelophysis. And I knew I was going to make this exhibit too big for how small they really are. But it's fine. It's fine, you know. They look good, though. I really like the way that Coelophysis looks in this game. They did pretty darn good. They certainly have the slenderness down. The head shape is really good. The hands are facing the proper direction. My only gripe is that there is, of course, a lack of feathers. We're not too entirely sure if Coelophysis had feathers, but it certainly is possible, and it would be cool to see it on these guys, but, you know, that's not a big deal. That guy's a little bit closer to the viewing area. I like them. I like them, and I do like this exhibit. I like how this exhibit turned out. Oh my gosh, look at that Chronosaurus. Yeah, I'm quite happy with how this looks. I think it's a nice blend of like both the lush part that we see in the episode and the more barren part. Now let's check these guys out. Okay, cool. You can see some. We're just gonna call them Ophthalmosaurus, even though that's not what they are in game. And then you can see the Chronosaurus, aka we're gonna call it Liopleurodon as well, even though it's not a Liopleurodon. Oh man. That is so cool, and I love it with the rocks, too. The rocks really make it feel a little bit more complete. It makes it feel a little bit more visually interesting. I do remember there being, like, a rocky canyon in the show, in the episode, so I like having something like that present. Oh, they look so cool swimming around. Oh, it's so cool. I love it. All right. Well, I think that's all the Walking with Dinosaur episodes that we're going to do right now. If you guys have any suggestions of which other ones we should do, be sure to let me know. Like, obviously, there's a few more episodes. There is the Jurassic episode, not the ocean Jurassic episode. There is the, you know, the episode where you're in the Morrison formation. There's also we can also put in the Utah Raptors, even though I do already have a Utah Raptor exhibit. But Utah Raptors with Iguanodon is always a very funny inclusion. Given the fact those two did not live together. There's the T-Rex, of course. There's a few options. So if you guys have any suggestions whatsoever, be sure to let me know. And oh, this guy has small amounts of quills. That must be the male. How did I miss that? Oh, that is so cool. Oh, I love that. Oh, yeah, you're my favorite now. That is so cool. I did not know about that. That makes it even better, if you ask me. That makes it even better. I love you. You're awesome. Stay being awesome, okay? But yeah, no, be sure to leave the suggestions down in the comments below. Eventually, we're going to get to the other Walking with Dinosaurs projects too, that being the 2013 movie as well. Well, we're going to have to wait on the 2013 movie because I want Pachyrhinosaurus in the game, because I would want to make an exhibit with Pachyrhinosaurus, and unfortunately, Pachyrhinosaurus is currently not in the game, and we don't know if it will be in the game anytime in the near future, so we'll have to wait on that. But the 2025 Walking with Dinosaurs, we can certainly do that at some point. Maybe that's even the next thing we do after the original 1999 Walking with Dinosaurs. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching today's video, and have an awesome day.